I'm doing a preview for episode 21 from season 4. Now, I am combining the trailer for episode 21 as well as the end of episode 20 teaser that we got to see, because y'all know they like to spoon feed us different scenes in both of these things, but we need to put them together because it's a lot going on. Tyler Perry is literally going to give us most of the action of this entire season in the last 2 episodes. I'm here for it because I got questions that I need answered, but also I'm stressed. Let's get into it. So I'm going to break this up based on characters and storylines, and I'm going to start with my good sis Karen, because I'm very concerned about her in this moment, in this time. With the teaser, we get to see her come over to Andi's penthouse. Yeah, Andi's back at the penthouse, but we'll come back to that. She comes over to Andi's penthouse and she's crying and she's like, Andi, do not take up for her. And she's definitely talking about Fatima. Andi is definitely towing a very fine line in both of her friendships to Fatima as well as Karen in this whole Karen, Fatima, Zach love triangle mess of sorts. And I think the Karen's just coming over and she's completely unloading. And I'm just hoping that Andi stands true to what she said in the office with her. The same conversation that they had there, she can reiterate here. And all of this, y'all, like, I get it. Y'all like, Karen is going to lose her mind. Karen is doing too much. Karen is crazy. She's not crazy. She's a woman in love and she's struggling to let go. And we have to go through some things sometimes, and this is what this looks like. It's so funny because every time I see a new comment where people like, Karen needs to learn to love herself, it's like, this is actually how. In most cases, when you struggle with self-esteem or self-confidence, you have a bunch of moments where you betray yourself, where you are not exhibiting self-confidence. And it's those moments that you learn that, oh, I need to behave differently, or how could I do this different that would actually show confidence, or I could feel confident. So the fact that people are just like so on Karen's head about her process of going through the grief of releasing this relationship and her lack of speediness in 4 weeks to release this relationship that she thought was going to be forever and has been her last 3 years of her life, is just like, the hypocrisy for me is crazy with people. But I have gotten to a much better place where I can just look at y'all's comments and I can just laugh. I'm not mad at Karen. I definitely want the best for Karen, but I also recognize, because I have told y'all time and time again in various videos, I have been where Karen is. You have to go through it to get through it. Like, there's no way around it. This part is the part of the work. I literally was going back and forth with someone in my Twitter DMs, and I said to her, all of this is a part of her, meaning Karen's, character development. Most of the things that truly shape us at our core come from falling or negative reinforcement. We learn from mistakes. Love will look a lot different for Karen in life after she gets over this. And depending on how long the show goes, we will all know exactly why she loves the way that she does in a future life. So I shared that to, like, hopefully not necessarily turn the Karen haters off of being haters, but like just to provide a little bit of perspective and just to provide a little bit of perspective in this whole conversation around Karen and what y'all dub as her crazy. This is all very intense. She is definitely very much so emotional. Should Zach have to be experiencing this? No, not necessarily, but it's also part of life. Also, what I would love to bring to people's attention is, like, nobody was this up in arms when she was trying to move on initially with Aaron, and Zach and that damn bike would not get up out of her shadows. He was under her bed. He was all over the place, like popping up like it was going out of style. So I do not have a problem, again, with what I'm seeing. I think that we're really getting to see, aside from like a few things where it just doesn't line up story wise, we're really getting to see the process of grief and release and decoupling, and the nitty gritty of what it actually looks like, and what circumstances help shape our psyche as women in romance and in life, right? Like, it really does take you going through it takes you playing yourself sometimes. It takes you putting somebody before you. And I resonate deeply with the idea of what's happening. Not necessarily all of the things that's happening with Karen as a character, but I resonate deeply with the idea of what's happening because I will never forget the man that I loved more than I love myself. Like, and I know for a fact I did that. And it took me a while to even realize it. It wasn't until I realized that I was loving a man more than I even loved myself before I could even start the steps to like separate and make better decisions that will pull me out of that toxic cycle. And what is funny to me is how everybody online who has a problem with Karen and wants to downplay who she is as a character wants to completely skip that. Mind you, it's been 4 weeks at best. Like, y'all want to completely skip the part of the word. Karen needs to learn to love herself. This is how she do it. Karen needs to have some self-esteem. This is where you build it. Karen needs to grow and evolve. This is how you do it. You don't just wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm an evolved version of self. Oh, I got more confidence today. You do some stuff. You fall and you get up. The same way that kids learn to walk by trying to walk and fall. That is exactly what's happening. And y'all low-key gotta let up on my good sis. But let's go back to the preview because I done gone off on a tangent. In the teaser, we get to see that, and we get an expanded version of what's happening in the actual trailer for the episode, because after she says like, Andi, don't defend her, which I don't think that Andi is necessarily defending Fatima in this moment. I think that she's just speaking to like they have a solid relationship. They are moving forward together. They love each other deeply. They are giving all types of Bonnie and Clyde, girl, and you are losing this battle, so I'm gonna need you to go ahead and set this fight down. Right? Cool. But we also get to see Karen reveal to Andi that this other woman came up, and then this speaks to Heather Jennings. Now, before I move into Heather Jennings and Zach and all the thing with the second baby, or the baby before Karen's baby, I do want to talk about what this information is going to do to Karen. I have been excited for this information to reach her ears because I think that this is going to be another thing that pushes her out of the boat of, oh, me and Zach are going to reunite. Another baby, a first baby, like your baby won't be the first, is going to be the gut punch that I wish that she didn't have to experience, but she needs to experience. It's going to help her let Zach go. Because whether we want to agree or admit it or not, there is definitely something to being the first baby mama, to having his first child. Okay, so like aside from her loving him, aside from their history, her being pregnant has a lot to do with her not actually being able to let go, and also having some type of hope for them reuniting in the future, because that's a big thing. And again, whether we want to admit it or not, culturally, the first baby mama holds a lot of weight and stake. Period. Now, Karen learning that she is not that is going to be some information that I think is going to completely destroy her, more so than Zach standing outside and telling her this is sad, which a lot of y'all seem to just have been like, oh, this is the most ultimate form of embarrassment that somebody can experience. I don't know. I didn't look at it like that. Like, he said this is sad. It is sad. All of it's sad. She's crying because it's sad. You're right. And maybe, y'all are looking at it like he's saying this is pitiful. But even if that's the case, like, that's a full expression of our human experience. Zach has been pitiful sometimes. He was in the damn car before they had sex back in season, I think it was season 2, talking about how he was going to completely change and how he was just going to be better, and just reading himself for filth. That was sad. So again, chill out, y'all, because not too much on the whole Karen and Zach thing, especially when I know at least 50% of y'all have gone through something similar in reference to toxicity. But now everybody want to be holier than thou on the internet. Y'all kill me. Anyway, moving forward to Heather Jennings, who pops up in the teaser. She says, I finally got an address for you. But in the trailer, she said, she introduces herself. I'm Heather, and this is your son. And it's just like, and this is in front of both Karen and Fatima. And sis couldn't have picked a messier time to pop up. But by golly, Miss Molly, I'm glad that you presented yourself, because we're going to have to get to the bottom of what is actually going on. Now, I am still of the camp of this ain't Zach's kid. The fact that he don't even recognize her, I don't know if Zach is the type of guy that's out here smashing girls that he don't even remember what they look like years later. I won't give him that. He might have had his hoeing and he might have been, you know, doing his thing, but I don't put that on him. So we gonna have to see when it comes to that. I really don't feel like this is his baby. I think that this is going to be the thing that introduces his whole brother storyline, which I'm totally here for. But it's creating enough drama and tension to shift of the characters forward. Like I said, Heather presenting herself and this being potentially Zach's baby is going to be a huge gut punch, but also push for Karen to move her ass on, which I'm completely excited about. And then also I think it's going to create an interesting conversation for Fatima internally. Like, is this what I really want to deal with? Do I want to be arguing with Karen outside this man's house when his other baby mama pop up and then there's some more drama? Do I love him this much? Like, is this all worth it? I done went to jail for this man. He might be going to jail because of insider trading. Like, is the penis that good? Is he that good? And not to say that he's not any of these things, y'all, but I am hoping that we get to see that thought process, or at least that internal questioning for Fatima as a character, because I definitely think it's going to add to what we see from her on screen, and then also go beautifully into what we can expect from the Zatima spinoff. Like, Zatima, the spinoff, is supposed to be a 30-minute comedy, but it's going to chronicle their perfect clock being thrown up against the wall and broken, and basically them experiencing all of the troubles that they could potentially experience within their new relationship, and how do they weather the storm in that. So I think part of that is like questioning, like, do I want to be in this situation? For all the people who are talking about Karen's lack of self-esteem and self-confidence, I always say that Fatima is who Karen will be once she gets over this Zach hurt, right? Because Fatima said herself in the show that she was Karen, and probably with her ex, she was like this, the guy who, you know, got married on her out of nowhere. I would love to see this internal dialogue, because that will be the thing that helps provide a little bit of balance of like, okay, what does this look like to be able to handle this from a place of more self-confidence, more perspective, and a clear understanding of what you want as a person. Fatima seems like a person who knows exactly what she wants out of life and where she's going. And the question that I have is any of this stuff that's going on in Zach's life going to become a distraction or deterrent for you? And if it does start to present itself in that way, what you gonna do, sis? And y'all can let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing how Fatima responds. While she's like a supporting character in all of these narratives, she's not the main driver of the drama. I don't think that she's about to try to fight Karen. All y'all messy betties in the comments and on the Bird app, don't bring that stuff to my comment section. Enjoy that stuff over on Twitter, because I don't think that Fatima's coming with no ridiculous ass smoke that's gonna have her smacking Karen or any of the things that y'all want Jerry Springer style. I think that she's going to still be very composed and compassionate and honest. So yes. Now moving on, let's talk about Andi real quick, because while she's not featured as like the star drama in these teasers or this trailer, is the fact that she is back in the penthouse when Karen finds her is a problem for me. Did you storm out and say that you was going back to your apartment, which you paid for, just for theatrics, or do you mean it? Because you love to do this thing, Andi, where you chastise Gary for what he's doing and how ridiculous he's being and how manipulative he is, or selfish or whatever, and then 2 seconds later you back in his bed, you back in his arms, you back in his control, and we are tired of it. This penthouse is not worth all of this that you're going through for it. Take your ass back home, get your furniture out of storage or wherever the hell it is, close down this damn escrow like you said, and make the damn decision to move on from Gary and be done with it. Period. If anything, while y'all out here talking about Karen need to have self-confidence and this and that, and Andi needs to. Because the difference is, and this is something that it does kind of get under my skin, but I'm working through it, right? Too many of y'all are comparing Karen and Gary. Too many of y'all are comparing Karen and Andi. The difference that I see with Zach and Karen and Andi and Gary is, one, Karen is not psychotic. Gary is. Karen is not schizophrenic. Maybe Gary's not schizophrenic, but he's giving me some type of mental disorder, and I'm going to keep calling him out until we land on the right damn one. Also, Zach actually loves Karen. Loved, and still loves Karen. I have yet to see that Gary actually loves Andi at all. At all. I don't give a damn what he bought her. I have yet to see love in his eyes for Andi. I have yet to see love in his words, love in his actions for Andi. Andi is literally trapped in a toxic situationship based off of material things. Karen is trapped in a toxic cycle with someone who she actually fell in love with, who had nothing. So she literally fell in love with the person. And that's all I'm going to say on that, because I'm supposed to be focusing on episode 21. But I said what I said. Now, moving on, Sabrina and Danni. So Danni, I guess, after Logan leaves, decides to get up and go and see Sabrina. And she asks, are you still in those white folks' money? And I say that because she's still wearing what she was wearing that night of the dinner. And we get a moment where Bio tries to kiss her and she like kind of shies away as he exits. And I think that this is before Danni actually shows up. And Danni asks this because Logan came over, did not reveal any information, but basically you can start to put two and two together if you actually paying attention. Now I'm gonna go ahead and skip over the whole Sabrina X and Danni is Logan married and her saying yes, because girl, don't nobody even give a damn. We worried about you finna go to jail. He's on your heels. Sabrina seems very surprised, as she should, because she had nothing to do with it. And she needs to wisen up, and she needs to wisen up really quickly. I am very much so over the storyline, and it's just getting started. The whole Q he's talking about in the trailer. I got the confession on tape, and he's talking to Logan, and Logan says, "Hey Quincy." So basically, y'all know each other. Logan, did you facilitate him actually getting out of prison so quickly, and then allowed for him to say that he's going to stay at Maurice's house because it was under the agreement that he was going to get a confession out of him? This is poor policing, and also very much so stupid. The whole storyline makes absolutely no sense, and it's a stretch at best, Tyler Perry. You not wanting to release these damn actors is going to be the death of this damn show, because I don't believe it. Even, and I said this in my breakdown video, so if y'all missed it, go ahead and check out my episode 20 breakdown video. Even with Maurice confessing with the air quotes, right? If you listen to that damn tape, and any freaking defense attorney worth their weight in salt would be able to identify that clearly Maurice is being facetious. Clearly Maurice did not organize this, and this is a whole crock of bullshit. Truly. And now all of a sudden Logan is in the damn office. We ain't seen you as a police officer working at the airport trying to help sex trafficked girls escape. We ain't seen you in the office yet. Now all of a sudden you in the office, you got a computer, you got a desk, and you giving detective steez. What happened to the women that were being sex trafficked? I thought that those are two different departments. Bank crimes and sex trafficking, at what point do those cross over? It makes no sense, and I'm very much so irritated with it. And yes, I do have residual irritation because Quincy, whatever the hell this dark-skinned ass dude's name is, his story is stupid. How he's moving is stupid. His fake, now I really don't believe that he was molested when he was younger. I don't believe nothing that he said. All the little sob story that he was giving to try to get people to get on his side and fake start this whole redemption journey for himself. It's all very ghetto, and he needs to get the hell out. And I do have sympathy for Maurice, but also part of me wants to say this is exactly what the hell you get, because you should have never let this stray ass cat back in your house. The boy put a gun to your head, put a gun to your best friend's head, and then tried to rob your job after sleeping with you, and told you that the only way that he will want to sleep with you is if you were going to pay him because he's gay for pay, not because he's actually interested in you. The amount of physical, mental, and emotional harm that this man has inflicted on you, I cannot. Maurice is stronger than this. He's a better character than this, and I feel like the storyline is doing his character a complete and utter disservice, in addition to wasting all of the damn audience's time. moving on to something else that don't matter because Hayden don't matter, but at least the storyline is a little bit more believable. So Hayden in the teaser points out about him spotting the senator at the airport video to Fatima, and then in the trailer he says, I see on the camera the senator's wife. It's gonna be bye little Zachy. I definitely think because Zach actually meets up with Tony, and I'm like, bro, did you decide that it was getting too hot in the kitchen with Heather, Fatima, and Karen that you was like, yeah, I gotta go, and went in the house, put on a little jacket, and ran to the hotel because that was a bigger problem to deal with, even though you told her you couldn't meet her that night because you had other things going on, but it got a little hot in the kitchen at the duplex? Probably. Okay. So Zach goes to meet Tony, and she's like, I got a call from a lawyer, and it was probably Hayden who was snooping around. I definitely think that Tony wants something. The fact that she's dressed in this little robe or whatever, I get that it's nighttime, she's about to go to bed, but part of me feels like she's gonna want a sexual favor in exchange for her to be quiet, and I don't even like that. I got a problem with that, period. Some of y'all saying that y'all think that the senator's wife Tony is Jake's mama. I'm going to create a video and try to deep dive into that. Aside from her being white and Jake being half white, I don't necessarily know what the connection is, but we're going to go ahead and explore it because a lot of y'all have posted those comments and I've seen them. So thank y'all for posting those. And yeah, that is my preview to episode number 21. Things are getting real. Of course, the thing that I'm most looking forward to is the conversation between Zach, Fatima, and Karen, and then Heather Jennings entering the group chat with Zach's alleged son. What I don't appreciate is Heather showing up at the damn salon the next day talking about some thank God that you're not married to him because I'm about to take him for everything that he got. Girl, why are you here? Maybe Karen reveals that she's also pregnant in that conversation, which I hope she didn't, because we do not need another random woman showing up at the salon doing some extra stuff. Aaron's wife, she did it for everybody. The rest of everybody's lifetime, no other woman can show up, starting no drama, having no issues, because she did more than enough for everybody. So Heather, take you, your 3-year-old ass son, this attitude, these horrible ass blue highlights that you got in your hair, and get the hell on. Get the hell on, because Karen is still not far enough along that she won't lay hands on your ass. And I wouldn't blame her. I would not blame her if she handed you a 2-piece and a biscuit on your way out of Karen's hair mastery, because at this point she got some aggression that she need to get out anyway, and you seem like the perfect person to swing on, honey. Let's go. Get your purse. Thank you for coming. Don't bring your ass back. And with that said, now y'all, let me know what y'all are predicting for next week's episode. Drop down in the comment section down below. Let me know all of your thoughts, theories, and predictions. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss out on any of my sisters' videos. It's your good sis, you love to talk TV with, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye.